Hi everyone, this is Yolanda from craftysentiments.etsy.com, and what I want to do is a series of videos showcasing some of the items that I have for sale in my Etsy shop. I've been selling soy fragrance melts and soy flameless jar candles for about 2 or 3 years now, and I wanted to highlight some of the things that I have for sale in my Etsy shop. The first thing I'm going to show you is the jar candle, and this is my, put the top back on. It's the flameless soy candle, and this is in an odor eliminator type scent, and it really does work. What you would do, you would take the top off, and you'll place it on a candle. This is a candle burner or warmer. It almost looks like a little hot plate, and you would set the jar on top of there and turn it on. And what happens is that the heat from the candle warmer melts the wax in the jar, and the fragrance that's in the jar is released in the air. Now, this jar will last approximately 40 hours, so it'll give you about 40 or 50 hours worth of fragrance time. What I like to do is, when I set the jar on there, I'll let it go for maybe about an hour or two, but it all depends on how long you would want to set that on there, and how long you would want to leave it. So after it's on, after you turn it off, it will solidify and become hard once again, and then you would just replace the top, and you can use this over and over again until there is no scent lasting in the candle. And what you would do at that point, you can either throw the jar away, but because this is soy wax, you can reuse the jar. Well, what I normally do is I would take the lid off and I would melt the wax, and I would dispose of the wax the same way that you would dispose of any oil that you would have, any used oils that you have in your house. Do not pour it down the sink or any kind of drain or the toilet or anything like that, because it will clog up the pipes if you do that. So we don't want to clog up the pipes or anything like that. After it's melted, you can dispose of it, like I said, any way that you dispose of any other oils, and then wash the jar out, and then you can use the jar for little knickknacks if you want to have little keepsakes or buttons or earrings or bows or anything small that you would want to keep track of. You can keep that in the jar that way. The other thing that I sell in my shop are soy fragrance melts, and they come in this type of container, and this is the scent called Breathe Easy. It's a mixture of eucalyptus and peppermint, and it reminds you of Vicks. So it really helps clear up the nose, and if you have like any sinuses or any kind of a cold, it helps clear up the nasal passages. It's not going to cure anything, but it will help you breathe a lot easier. I do have some other scents that I have just on hand here. Another one is pumpkin cheesecake. It's one of our most popular scents, great in the fall, but I have a couple of people that like this year-round. Another one, which is a kind of a fun scent, is fresh cut grass. Why we want fresh cut grass? People have all different kind of wants and needs. Maybe you live in an area that's urban and doesn't have any grass or trees or anything that that you don't have too much, and you want a little fragrance of it. You just open it up, and then the way you would use these, you open it up, and there are 6 cubes that are available. You would pop one out, and you would set it. I like to set in a muffin cup. This is a silicone muffin cup, and the good thing with this is that once you set the product in the muffin cup, when you're through with it, it peels away. The wax peels away very easily from the cup, and if you have only used it once or twice, you can put this in another Ziploc bag and reuse the fragrance again until there is no longer a fragrance coming from the wax. Or you can put it in a bowl. I have a bowl here, and I have some gingerbread cookies that were melted in here earlier, and I think this is about 2 or 3 of the cubes that are here in the excuse me, 2 or 3 cubes that are in this little container here. And basically it's like the other ones. You turn it on, it melts, The fragrance is released in the air, and then you turn it off and it solidifies. And the way to get the wax out of this container is what I usually do is I set it in the refrigerator or the freezer, just the bowl type, for about 15 or 20 minutes. And what that does, it makes the wax contract from the sides and it pops right out. And if you haven't used this a lot and there is still some fragrance left, you can place this disc in a Ziploc bag or container, and then you can change the fragrances as you wish. I do have a lot of fun shapes that I have for sale on Etsy. Some of them include, like I said, I have the fragrance melts in the clamshell in a little container. This is great because you can pop out any amount that you want. 1, 2, 3, and then it closes it back up and it keeps it really fresh. Or you can mix scents if you like. If there are 2 different fragrances that you like, for instance, there's a chocolate or there's a cherry, you can make your own chocolate-covered cherries or chocolate-covered strawberries. Here's another one that I have is candy corn. That one's really, really great too. Kind of a sweet honey fragrance, but it does remind you of candy corn, which is what I really, really like. Some of the other things, samples that I have are, this is another melt. It's not a candle, but it's a fragrance melt, but it's really large and it weighs about 7 or 8 ounces. And this one is fragranced, what is this one fragranced? Lemon bundt cake. And so it's, like it has the chocolate part down, the cake part down here and the frosting up here. And then you would use this the same way as you would use any of the others. You would just cut the pieces off, cut a piece off as you like. And try to do this without making too much noise for you. You would cut a piece off, place it in a bowl, and the fragrance is released in the air. And as you can see, this is quite a large, large piece. The whole thing is scented in lemon bundt cake, which is a lemony, zesty type cake. Really, really good. This is one of the bakery scents. I also have one called Death by Chocolate, and it's a really, really chocolatey, like a German chocolate cake, German chocolate with fudge. That's another one of the fragrances that I have. This one is labeled, this is my orange chiffon cake. It's a really, really orangey, it's another bakery scent that I have. All of these are bakery scents, but the fragrances that I do have online, any of the scents can be made into any shape that you like. So even though it's not a bakery scent, you can have it made in the bakery scent. I do custom orders as well. This one is another favorite. This was our red velvet cake. So you can see the cake part down here is red and with the cream cheese type frosting. And that is a fabulous scent as well. They do come packaged in the little cellophane container, bag. And if you cut off a piece, you would just replace it back in the bag, tie it up, and that will keep it fresh for a long time until you're ready to use it. The other one that I have is birthday cake. And this is a nice one as well. It's the cake part at the bottom with the strawberry frosting at the top. It's strawberry colored. It's all one fragrance, which is scented birthday cake. And you can smell the cake and the fragrances of the frosting as well. I do have some other scents, other shapes as well. This one is sugar cookies. And here they are. They're shaped like little sugar cookies, and you use them the same way. You break one off or put a whole piece in the container, and you burn it that way. And the last one that I have is one of my favorite donut shapes. We have a lot of the donut shapes that we do as well. And like I said, any of the fragrances can be used, made into the cookie shape, the donut shape. It can be placed into a jar or the clamshell. So these are some of the fragrances that I do have, some of the samples of different shapes items that I do have for sale in my Etsy shop. So I would love it if you would come by and browse around and pick up something that you might like. The address again is www.craftysentiments.etsy.com, and I hope to see you soon. That's all for now, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.